What's up, YouTube? This is PopCan, and in this video, I want to talk about the SteamOS benchmarks that have been circulating on the web and YouTube and sort of come to Valve's defense on this issue. Now, before I get started, I want to explain that I'm not really a Valve fanboy. I do love a lot of Valve's games, but like the Steam launcher, I really don't care for. Just launchers in general. And most of the problem is that there's just too many of them. I mean, you have one from Valve, you have one from EA, you have one from Blizzard now, which is my favorite so far, but it's still a launcher and I don't like it. Windows had one, and then didn't, and then does, I think, again, and even Good Old Games has one. And anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I'll get back on track. The article I'm referring to comes from Ars Technica, and it's also been floating around the internet and YouTube videos. I'll have a link in the description below. But pretty much they take a modest PC, run Windows on it, do some benchmarks, run SteamOS 2.0, run some benchmarks, and then make a nice graph, as you can see, to compare the two. And Windows, it has about a 33% on average, if not more, lead over SteamOS. And I'll get into why that is, but first I'd like to start off with something from Valve's website, and I quote, excuse me, "Users should not consider the SteamOS as a replacement for their desktop operating system. SteamOS is being designed and optimized for the living room experience." So pretty much what they're saying is that they're not trying to go after the PC market and 1v1 Windows for it. They're going after the console market, and I think that's a smart decision, because once they get a user base for the console market, it will just gradually evolve into the PC market, because that's what Steam machines are. They're just small PCs. One of the things that you do need to remember when evaluating the SteamOS is that it really hasn't been around that long and hasn't had time to mature as an operating system. As a console, I think a lot of things should have been fixed before it was released, such as apps. There should have been the apps that are on there should not have the bugs that they do, as far as I've seen. Maybe they fixed them by now, but there hasn't been a whole lot of time for optimization and game design. And my point here is that if you look at all the games besides one, Left 4 Dead 2, on this benchmark list, there is a huge gap. Why is that? The reason is optimization. Games have not been optimized to run on Linux, or the SteamOS for that matter. The one game that was, Left 4 Dead 2, was actually already ported to Linux back in 2013. And if you remember, Left 4 Dead 2 was released back in July 2009. So that's a 4-year timeline that they took to port the game over. I'm not saying it took them all 4 years, but they had the time to do it right. So they weren't in a hurry, they weren't rushed, they weren't trying to make it a deadline, as far as I know. I mean, I'm sure they had some sort of deadline, but they weren't trying to get a release for this console. So that is, the capabilities are there as far as it becoming a gaming machine. They're not trying, like I've said before, they're not trying to replace the PC. People are comparing it to the PC because that's what it is. It's a PC, it's a set-top box that you build out of PC parts, and so people are naturally going to compare it to a PC. And right now, it is not capable to do the same things that the PC can do as far as performance per hardware. I do feel like the SteamOS has been rushed, just like I was saying before about the apps. I think app development should have been completed as far as popular ones like Netflix, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those things I think should have been taken care of, and from what I've seen, they've been really glitchy. Some apps aren't even in there at all, and I think that should have been fixed. I think that's part of the reason why it feels rushed. But the other side is that I think they already had, I don't remember where I read the article, but I think they already had hardware made, and they needed an operating system for it. If they waited too long, I think they might have lost hardware vendor interest. So that's my guess. I don't have any facts. Like I said, I read not a forum, but a post about it, an article about it some time ago, and I can't remember where I read it, but that's my theory anyway. I do feel like it was rushed. But the one thing that bugs me the most is when I see people saying that SteamOS is dead, or it's dying, it's on the way out. Excuse me. No, it's just struggling because it's new. Valve wouldn't dump this much money into something just to rush it out the door and cut their losses. Valve, I don't think is that stupid. They would lose a lot of credibility if they did that. My last point I'm going to make, and then I'll end this video, is that keep in mind this, it's going to be and is a free operating system. And a highly customizable one, I think, eventually once the mod community gets a hold of it, and even regular Linux users, I think we'll see a huge explosion of modding going on there. But yeah, just keep an open mind. Wait around. As long as Valve continues to develop for it, it's only going to get better. So yeah, those are my thoughts. If you have any opinions on the matter, please leave them in the comment section below, or send me a message if you really want to. Any feedback on this is appreciated. I'm new to the YouTube arena, and any feedback is much appreciated. Thanks for watching, guys and gals. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good one.